Welcome to Tampa's Table, a culinary journey. I'm Jeff Hauk. I'm Vice President of Marketing for the 1905 family of restaurants. And today, we're going to be talking about food and fun and motherhood and parenthood and the arts and all kinds of great stuff with Kiva Williams. Welcome.
Thank you.
Better known as the Fun Foodie Mama.
Yes.
Which is a hard label to live up to 24/7.
I know.
How did we get there? How did you get that name? How did you give yourself that name?
So I'm a mom of three.
Right. Well, that's a start.
Yeah.
You got the mama covered.
Yes. I like to have fun. And I'm a foodie.
Okay.
So I combine the three things that I love.
Triple threat.
Yeah.
So 3 kids, what ages?
I have a 17-year-old. He's a senior in high school. So I'm going through all that, making sure he meets all the quotas, graduates.
Sure. I
have a first-year middle schooler, 11-year-old. And then I have a 7-year-old. So yeah, I'm all over the spectrum.
Wow.
I know.
That is not like, you can't bunch them up. You have to treat them all differently and feed them all differently and things like that.
It sounded good when we spaced them out, but now that I'm actually doing it, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of work.
So just to go back to the beginning, you're from Atlanta.
Yes. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
No, but I grew up in Atlanta. So
well,
you have that
half
right.
of it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
And then what brought you to Tampa? How'd you get here?
So I decided to come venture out and go to college at USF. I was one of those kids who wanted to move away from my parents. I was ready to be on my own. My parents, of course, wanted me to go to school in Georgia.
Sure.
There's so many great schools in Georgia. But I'm like, you know what? I don't want to. I want to be on my own. So I moved to Florida and I've been here ever since.
So our mutual good friend, Delia Cologne,
yes,
mentioned that you're sort of a military kid. So
Kinda,
you've
sort of.
lived around a little bit.
Okay, so I know people think that when you live overseas, that means you live in the military, but
Right.
no, my parents were not military. They're civilians. My mom was an educator. She taught school on a military base.
Okay.
And my father worked for an insurance company that was off base. So we were part of the military life as far as being on the base, going to the schools, but we weren't military. We were civilians.
I got bad information, in other words. I'll
have to talk to her about that.
We'll have to ding her episode,
Get her story
put
straight.
an asterisk on it or something. I think her point was, talk to Kiva because she's lived a lot of places and she's lived a lot of different food cultures.
Yes.
And ask her about how that has informed what she thinks about food. How has that changed what you think?
So I lived for 8 years in Germany. And even though I was a child,
Germany?
So we were near Frankfurt. It was called
I've been there.
Mansfield. Yeah. And
I believe they call it Frankfurt, but go ahead.
You're right.
Okay.
I lost my German accent. It's been 20 years.
9.
1, 2, 3.
Super. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so living in Germany just opened my eyes to so many different cultures. Even though we were in Germany, there was a lot of Italian restaurants that actually had Italians that lived there.
Sure.
Asian, food places that had they spoke German. So I'm like, wait, they're Asian, but they speak German. It was kind of cool just seeing all that melting pot and then being able to travel to so many places because you can hop on a train or a subway and go to Belgium.
So you had almost like a German filter on all these different cuisines in a way.
Yes. And the German food was top notch.
Really? What was your favorite?
I still miss German bakeries. Right now, I live, in Wesley Chapel.
Right.
If I want to go to get some baked goods, I have to go to Publix. I love Publix, but it's a chain grocery store.
It's not a German bakery.
It's not a German bakery where Oma's there literally making fresh bread and Nutella sandwiches and just all that good stuff.
Me.
I miss that. I can still literally feel it and taste it.
Say what you want about Europe, and I'll say a lot of positive things. They know how to eat Nutella.
Oh my God,
I was in Italy last
do.
Year. I was in Italy last year with my wife, and we went to the breakfast buffet in the hotel because you're supposed to.
Right.
And they not only had Nutella, they had it in a pump jar.
Listen.
And I just thought, I wonder if I could just do shots.
Nutella
if
is
I just
king.
get under it and they would say, well, he's clearly American, but they know how to use breads and spreads and to have a feast in a way that is like, oh, this is relaxed and fun.
Exactly.
And things like that.
And I try to explain to my husband that Nutella is how we do peanut butter, but he objects to me giving the kids Nutella sandwiches. He's like, what are you doing? That's too much sugar. I'm like, hey, you eat peanut butter sandwiches, right? So this is my German, way of giving back to my
So
roots.
the headline out of this podcast will be Kiva fights with husband over spreads.
Yes, over Nutella.
Okay, Nutella. Those are not the worst fights you can have.
Right.
So you got to Tampa about how long ago?
I'm showing my age. 1998.
Oh, I got here way before you. You're not old at all.
Yeah, so I was a college freshman. I didn't really explore too much because, I didn't have a car.
Right.
My parents were like, you're out of state. You got to stay on campus. So I was just in that USF area, Fowler and Fletcher. Those are 2 streets I knew only.
Sure.
So for the last, my first 4 years here in Tampa, I wasn't really exploring because I didn't have a car. I was new to the scene and, but what I did have? I had a way to get to the Jerk Hut. And the Jerk Hut had a $4.99 lunch special. And so if I had extra money, I would go to the Jerk Hut and just like live off of the amazing food there. So that was like my first real introduction to like Caribbean food and just kind of like tasting some different things that I had never tasted before.
So people who don't know, the Jerk Hut is an institution in Tampa, and they've got a couple different locations.
They do.
But it's, Caribbean, Jamaican food, things like that. If you like those flavors, this is a great on-ramp to learning more about them.
Yeah.
What was your favorite kind of dish there? Was it, because I'm a nut for goat. I love goat. I will eat goat all day long.
I'll eat it now, but back then, I just stuck to the jerk chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
with the red sauce, because the owner, Andrew, has a special red sauce. Yeah. So that was amazing.
So you're at school, you finished school. What were you studying? You were studying the arts, weren't you?
Yes, I was a dance major. So at the time, right now, they call it theater and dance, but it was separated when I went there. So it was my first year in college. USF had just got a football team in 1998. So the college wasn't really known for like football and sports. But since I was a dancer, I went ahead and became a Sundoll, which is like their dance team. So I was on the sidelines at the Raymond James.
You were a Sundoll?
Yes, I was a Sundoll. It was cool. Yeah.
That was that's early times, man.
Yeah, and now when I look at it, they're more like cheer focused because they look totally different. We had these like shimmery tops and pom poms, and they have like cheerleading outfits on now. So I'm like, what changed?
Now it looks like you're going to a Pilates like workout or something.
Yeah, it's more acrobatic.
Crazy acts going on. But it's funny you mentioned Fowler and Fletcher, because I think that right now that's one of the most exciting corridors for food in Tampa, because it seems almost like an international pathway between them. Obviously, the influence of USF is huge.
Yes, very.
You get Indian, you get Caribbean, you get all kind of world cuisines there.
Yeah, very.
Great pho, great all kinds of great stuff.
Yes.
I used to go to a place called Trang Viet, which was a Vietnamese place. I don't think it's there anymore, but and if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. Trang Viet had the best pho, and it was sort of like my on-ramp to Vietnamese food and rolls and things like that. And I was like, I get down with this.
Yeah.
So how did you start the blog?
So, being removed from school, I got into the whole corporate life because my parents were like, if you stay in Tampa, you have to get a job, right? And so getting a job in the arts in Tampa wasn't really that, it wasn't many options. I danced at Busch Gardens, but, I had dreamed of going to New York and, being on the big screen and, being in Broadway.
Like everybody in the arts does.
Right. But I met a guy. Now my husband.
Met a guy. His name is Nathan.
Right. I met a guy, and sometimes that love thing just takes over. So
How'd you meet?
We met at USF.
I know, but how?
So just through random friends, So like freshman year, I kind of saw him. I knew who he was, but then we connected like sophomore year, and ever since then we just stayed together. So now
he's like, I'm dating a dancer.
Right. He thought that was so cool. He would come to my dance performances and like be in the audience cheering for me. It was cute.
He's your hype man.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So he's from Orlando, and so he was staying in the Tampa area. So hindsight is 20/20. Of course, I should have pursued my dreams, but I was just like, you know what? I'll stay in Tampa too. And so my parents were like, okay, well, if you stay in Tampa, you have to sustain yourself and get a job. So I kind of got into the corporate world.
Good parents, by the way, from what I hear.
I mean, yeah. Now that I think about
it, described, I'm like, check.
They wanted the best for me. At the time, I was like, okay, fine. So I get a job at JPMorgan Chase. I'm from the arts, right? I just graduated from school after doing, 4 years of performing arts.
Not a lot of dance at JPMorgan Chase.
Right. But the way I got the job was that I put on my resume that I spoke German, which was not a lie because I used to speak fluent German.
Right.
But of course, now that I'm like 21, I don't remember as clearly as I did when I was like 8 or 9.
Sure.
But they were
That's
like, okay.
more than most people can speak. So.
Right. So they had me interview, and they called their German connect, and they were like, okay, go through this interview. So I was able to get through the interview. I was like, oh God, please help me. So I got a job in the international department. I don't know anything about money, finances, but hey, I'm here now. So I just learned the ropes of being a corporate girl. So I kind of left my dance dreams to the side and started working in corporate America.
Sure. And then, so you're in corporate America, you're doing what you do, you're following your parents' wishes and earning money and sustaining yourself.
Has to have benefits, the whole package.
Oh, benefits.
They're big on that.
Nothing is better than the word benefits when you're at a certain age. I'm like, I'm not living on their dime anymore.
Exactly.
It's funny because I always told my son when he went to school, I go, understand something. You're gonna be with a group of people, and you're probably gonna find your wife. You're going to find your
You
purpose.
told him that?
And yeah,
Oh, that's
absolutely.
sweet.
Because that's what happened to me,
Same.
and it's just sort of, you have no idea how your life is going to be affected by going into education. No matter what you study, it just colors your life. And before
That's
you know it,
true.
you're falling in love, you're starting a life,
Right.
you're working in German, a whole thing. So JP Morgan, dance, food, three very different things. How do we
Right.
get to food?
So fast forward, it's been 10, 15 years in the corporate world. I'm not really there because I really love it. And I was trying to do the whole corporate ladder thing. I went back to school. I went to St. Leo, was starting the process of getting my MBA.
Great school.
So I was doing all the things, but I wasn't being fulfilled. And so one day I just talked to my husband, like, hey, like, I really want to pursue something else. I got to get out of this rat race. And he was like, okay, you know what? Take a break, pause. Because I was kind of like, you try to do too much. I was a new mom. I had to have my second child. He was like, turning 1. I was trying to go back to school. And it was just kind of like a little bit too much. So I took a pause, left corporate America. And then I told myself I became the accidental stay-at-home mom because I wasn't trying to be a stay-at-home mom. I was going to pursue dance.
Sure.
I was doing the corporate thing. Here I am now, no title. What do I do next? So after about a year of being home with the kids, not really wanting to be there, I'm like, I need to find something creative. And I'm always a person who overshares. People call me the overshare in my friend group.
Say no more.
Because I like letting people know what's
Actually,
happening.
no, say more. Don't say less. Say
Yeah.
more.
So listen, I'm the person who people come to me like, hey, what's happening in the community? They're looking for me to tell them. So
Sure.
I'm going to tell them because I know. So being the fact that I'm overshare, I love food, I was like, I'm going to start a blog. So my first blog was called Pursuing Happiness because I was trying to find myself. I'm like, I'm going to pursue things that make me happy. And then that just evolved into the Fun Foodie Mama because I'm like, okay, I found the things that I want to talk about and this is what it is.
Now, do you like to cook?
I do.
Why do you like to cook? Because I always ask people if they do, but what about it fulfills you?
So cooking is something that I grew up with my mom, my aunties and stuff. So it's kind of one of those things where this is how we show love to our family.
Sure.
And as a mom, you're the main person who's putting the food on the table, going grocery shopping. So it's like my love language to my family. And I enjoy it.
And what do you like to cook for your family?
So Sundays are big deals in the African American culture because we do this big Sunday dinner. And so I love collard greens, roasted chicken, fried chicken, just anything that, brings Southern flavor. I'm from the South.
Yeah, you give me a plate of greens, I'm a happy man.
Yes.
Now, do I understand it correctly? You were instrumental in the Collard Green Festival as well?
So I just happened to stumble upon the Collard Green Festival circa 2019.
Sure.
And it was their second year. I didn't know, but I entered their collard green cooking competition. And so from that on, I went to the Collard Green Festival and I loved it. So I just kind of, like you said, I'm an overshare,
Right.
was broadcasting, telling everybody about it. Hey, this is the Collard Green Festival in St. Pete. You guys got to come. So yeah.
Wait. Did you win the Collard Green Festival?
So that year I won second place. And then later on, I became the host. In 2024, I was literally the host of the Collard Green Festival.
You won. Trust me. You won. So what's your secret to making good collard greens?
So it's funny you ask. So my parents, when I was in high school, they decided to become vegans. My mom was battling cancer and she wanted to go the natural way. So she changed her diet, became a vegan. Of course, as a teenager, I was upset because I'm like, what do you mean we're not eating meat?
Right.
What is this?
I'm
confused. Right. And then, of course, being from the South, we put meat in everything.
Sure.
So the first way I learned how to cook was from my mom, and she's a vegan. So I learned how to make vegan greens.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that was my secret sauce.
Well, see, I only know ham hocks.
I know.
So what are vegan greens?
So I made...
They're just greens.
I know, right? It's all about the spice.
A little bit vinegar, a little bit of...
Yeah, cumin, paprika, some garlic, and basically just flavoring it with natural seasonings.
Okay.
And then I add my extra jalapeno, make it spicy, and it was a hit.
This is the international symbol for a little jalapeno.
Yes, little jalapeno. And so that was my first entree into the Collard Green Festival.
Right.
I was the only person that brought vegan greens, and I won. I mean, I was in the top 3. So it's they're eating my vegan greens and they love it. So because of that, they had to make a category. So the next year they made a separate category for vegans. Because
Kiva's column.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm competing against people who are adding meat to it. So, giving people different options. So they have 2 categories now. They have a vegan option and they have a meat option. So that was because of me.
So congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's a huge thing to be able to nail,
I know,
it's a lot of pressure.
Yes, especially in the Black community, collard greens.
Oh.
If you don't add meat, they're looking at you like, okay,
yeah, what's
going
wrong
on
with her?
Right.
We're not inviting you to the barbecue.
Right. You're uninvited.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No. You gotta get an auntie to invite you again.
Exactly.
I aspire to be invited to the barbecue one day. Please,
Yeah,
God,
you gotta
please.
come. I'm gonna put a good word in for you.
Thank
You're
you.
cool.
I appreciate that. So when you started blogging, what were the things that you were writing about? What was the things that got attention from people that you were touching on?
So I was mostly blogging about motherhood
Right.
because being a mom, kind of losing my identity. I had a title at my job, even though I didn't love it, but I was like, the senior tax specialist, but now I'm like just a mom. So just kind of writing about like navigating being a mom,
Sure.
finding things that you still love, because sometimes as moms, we kind of lose ourselves in motherhood and we just take on this personality, like I have to be the best mom. And then we forget about all our hopes and dreams. Like, hey, I'm a mom, but I like exploring food.
Sure.
I like going to dances. So it's like just refining yourself. So
I've
yeah.
seen you on the daytime program locally, and I know it's syndicated, but you're on with a panel of moms on a regular basis talking about
Yes.
these issues. And I from watching, I love daytime. I used to work in the building there at the Tampa Tribune,
Oh,
so
really?
I love that
Yay.
show. But I like watching that panel because I'm like, oh, I would have never known that.
Exactly.
I'm a
See?
dad,
Right, right.
and I'm an old dad, and I never had any of the kind of challenges that the moms have. It's the different dynamic
Yes.
and whatnot. But I learned so much when I watch these things.
I
And
love that.
yeah, it's just very instructive to me because it gives me a window into something that I don't know, which is a lot like cooking.
And
There's some stuff
you're
where I
open
cook where
to
I've
it.
never done it before, and you're open to it once you
Yeah.
kind of hear about these things and whatnot. So,
I love that.
what's your favorite thing to cook beside greens?
That's a good question. I like kind of making like roasted duck
Hmm.
or just
I've never done that. I'd love to. I've
really?
made duck breast, but I've not made duck.
Yeah, sometimes I go buy the whole duck and just roast it, put some orange sauce on it. I also like Cornish hens.
Mm.
We like leg of lamb, special occasions like for
Lamb
Easter.
is, oh, I love lamb.
Yeah, so things like that,
Yeah. So
I
you're
have
the one who cooks for Easter. You're the one who cooks for Christmas. You're the one who
yes,
cooks all the time.
and I'm raising another foodie. My son, my oldest, he
Oh,
went
really?
through the Junior Chefs of America program,
Oh, that's
so he
awesome.
loves food too. So we have like that thing that bonds us together.
Do you have a favorite Tampa flavor?
Well, when I think of Tampa, I think of Cuban food, and I love going to La Teresita and like going and get those meals there. So I would say it's heavily like Cuban
Like
influence for
if
me.
you go, what do you order?
Okay, so they have something called the pollo salteado. It's this like
Mhm.
roasted chicken.
It's like a chicken stir fry.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it has
yeah.
French fries in it.
Oh,
The
well, you
first
can't
time
beat that.
I know.
That's
So the
like
first
cheating.
right, the first time I had it, I was like, "What is this beautiful concoction of chicken, French fries, and onions and peppers?" It's amazing. You get that with the yellow rice and black beans and the Cuban bread.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
god, yeah. Do you go to La Teresita?
I've been before. I love La Teresita late at night because it turns into this almost like public performance show where
Yes.
people who might have had a little to drink go and like try and put an airbag with their liver
Uh-huh.
with some food on it and the
The ca
zigzag counter and everything like that. I
Right.
just sit there and just watch people. Sometimes
It's
I go and
awesome.
I'll have like a little bite to eat. It's been a while since I've been, but I just remember going and thinking, this is a sitcom. It should be streaming somehow.
It's really cool because you'll see,
Um,
like, police officers there just get off their shift. You'll see, like, grandpa,
yeah,
abuela,
yeah.
just random people, date night, and you're just all sitting around this, like, cafeteria,
You
like
could
you
literally
said.
just write down what you see and make a song, you
Yeah,
know?
it's cool.
Um, so your blog progresses, you become known for being a mom. Hey, what's the challenge of keeping that up? Because that is just a furnace that just chews up content. How do
I
you keep that
know.
going?
It's hard because, now everything's on social media as far as, like, Instagram and TikTok,
Right.
and I found that even working with brands, they want you to write a blog post, but they also want you to mostly do social media.
Right.
So having that social part kind of like takes, the helm. So I feel like I'm doing more blogging on social media versus like literally traditional writing on a
Right.
blog. So yeah, it's like a mix.
You have
But
to find a
luckily,
balance.
but luckily I'm a contributor to other organizations like Tampa Bay Parenting. So I'll write something for them.
Right.
So I still get my writing niche because I love writing.
It's writing is just I know I'm old fashioned about it, but I love to write and
Me
and
too.
it still has an impact,
Yes.
especially as things kind of change with AI and whatnot. But
Yes.
one thing I definitely wanted to talk to you about, which so impresses me with regard to you, is the Mahogany Kids Arts Foundation.
Thank
And I
you.
wanted you kind of explain what you do and how you do it, because when I came up against it and found that you did that, I was like, oh, higher purpose. bigger goals,
Thank
bigger
you.
dreams. And
Yeah.
if you could talk about how that started and what Mahogany Kids tries to achieve and how you go
Yes.
about it.
So you know how I went to USF? I was a dance major. I had these big dreams of going off to New York. Didn't really do that, but during COVID, I was thinking like, man, if the world ends, like what am I doing with my passions? And I'm passionate about the arts, right? And I'm passionate about kids. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and start this foundation. I was already doing the work anyway in the community. I just didn't have like, the right paperwork with it. You know how you something that means to
Absolutely.
you, you're still doing it, but you're like, hey, let me make this a business for
Right.
real. So I can get more help, get more people to, see what I'm doing and give us money, basically.
Yeah. Well, it helps out sponsorships.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I'm just taking my passion for the arts, putting it to kids, mostly kids who are coming from underrepresented communities,
And what ages are we talking about?
3 to 18.
Okay.
At the time when I started, my daughter was 3. And, so I was like, you know what? I want to do something for my kids to participate in too, but also other kids. So I mostly go to Title I schools and I do some type of art activation. Like I just went to Mom Elementary, took the kids to the Strat Center to see The Lion King.
Oh, I
And
bet they loved it.
oh my God, the look on their faces, it was priceless because this is something that half of them have never experienced. Some of them said they'd never left Waimama. And meanwhile, we're driving the
Can
charter
you
bus.
imagine never
Right.
leaving Waimama and then you see Mufasa?
Right. And one kid even came in a Lion King outfit. He like bought
Did
a
he
Lion.
really?
Yes. I was like, oh my God. They were so excited. So just seeing their faces and giving them that
From
experience.
Waimama to Hakuna Matata.
Right. No, literally. It was so cute. Yeah. It was cute.
So, I know part of it is that you bring kids to Columbia Restaurant
Yes.
and then they have a meal as part of their experience.
Yes.
And I know from seeing some kids that they've never had a Cuban sandwich before, they've never
Right.
had experience, they've never seen a flamenco dancer before.
Right. Oh my
That
God.
whole just like these kids won't blink for the next 6 years kind of look on their face. I get chills thinking about it. I do, because
It was
the
amazing.
impact that you're having. I remember going to see the play 1776 at the Bayfront Center. Bayfront Center is not there anymore. Nobody performed
yeah. Where's that?
1776. It was a bicentennial kind of play.
Okay.
Bayfront Center, where Al Lang Stadium is in St. Pete?
Yeah.
It was right next to where the Mahaffey is. It was between the
I know where
stadium and
that is.
Mahaffey.
Okay.
That's where the Ringling Brothers used to perform and all
Yep.
that stuff. And I remember that I was maybe in 8th grade, 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
And it stayed with you.
Stay with me.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I know the impact that you're having
Yeah.
on kids. So what's your goal for Mahogany Kids? What do you want to do with it?
So I want to take what I'm doing at these 2 schools
Right.
primarily and just kind of multiply. I want to make sure I'm like impacting as many kids as I can.
Mhm.
Because I know like for me, when I lived in Germany and overseas, my parents took me to art museums. They took me to see the opera.
Again, you had great parents.
Yeah, I really did. So I remember being a kid, going to London, going to see like a full-fledged opera and just thinking like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So just having that love for the arts and knowing that it changes you, it kind of opens your mind, makes you think about things bigger than yourself.
Right.
And then, giving that back to the kids who may not have the opportunity, it's just something that's so powerful.
Well, and you just think, is there a Kiva in this group?
Yes.
Is there somebody who sees this and says, I can do this?
Right.
And then that passes along. Now, another question, and when you have somebody, say, visit from Tennessee or Georgia or whatever, and they come here, what's the flavor that you use to introduce them to Tampa? What food do you introduce them to?
Okay, that's a good question. That's kind of loaded. So I always take them to like the Riverwalk.
Uh-huh.
We walk around, stop by Armature Works.
Sure.
Because of course, there's different options there. So, giving them that whole Tampa experience on the water, nice views.
Water's now a big thing in Tampa. And
Yes.
it used to be sort of the water was sort of in the way, and now it's like part of everything we do.
It really is. And people love that, doing those like day tours and stuff.
Yeah. And, there's nothing like walking along the Riverwalk and all of a sudden a tiki hut goes pedaling down the
Literally.
river. And I'm like, well, we live in a cool place.
Or those e-boats you can get
The
on.
e-boats are cool.
Yeah. And then sometimes we'll take one of those tours and
Yeah.
stop at Rick's on the River.
Yeah.
Just have some seafood.
With a giant chicken wing.
Yes.
God, it like took me 2 days to get through one chicken wing one time.
Really?
Yeah, oh God, yeah. I love their chicken wings at Rick's. I just remember thinking these have to be some sort of pterodactyl. This can't be a chicken. The wings are huge.
I love when that happens though, because I feel like you're getting bang for your buck.
I love when I go to a restaurant, I feel like I'm ripping them off by being the customer.
I'm like, yes,
I know it's a perverse thing. But yeah, I used to go
They
to this
didn't
one
get
restaurant.
me. They didn't get over
I
me.
used to go to this one restaurant and the bun was this big and the fish fillet was this big. And I'm like, oh, I am taking them to the house,
I love
but
it.
yeah, I love that. You're bringing them to local places and showing them local things.
Yes. Seafood, grouper sandwiches,
Right.
of course, Cuban food. So Yeah, I love it.
Got to be a little Latin in there somewhere.
Yes, of course. Ybor City, you know.
Ybor City. You got to show them the chickens. Chickens and streetcars go a long way when it shows off Tampa. And then the other thing is, it's a very important question. Is, do you call it Tampa devil crab or deviled crab?
Oh my God. You know what? What do I call it? I don't even say Tampa in front of it. I just say devil crab.
Which, with ED or no ED?
No.
No? Yeah.
No.
Okay. We're on team devil. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound right.
I know. Now it sounds bad.
No, I accused...
Maybe I should say devil.
I accused Aaliyah of being on, with the devil, and she just rejected that.
She was like, no, thank you.
No, that's not what I meant. But yeah, okay, devil crab. We're in for devil crab.
Yeah.
And I don't, honestly don't care. It's just funny to me how something that everybody loves has different identities and different people and whatnot.
Do you know what? When I was driving here, have you ever been to Michelle Timpiano's, I think it's called? She used to have these really amazing...
Michelle Faedo's?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it used to be down here.
It used to be.
So when I was driving here, that's what made me think about it, because she has really good devil crabs.
She has some of the best. Yeah. And she was known for her devil crab and her Cuban sandwich.
Where she is.
She kind of has moved around a little bit. She used to be in the county building for a while.
Exactly.
But she had a food trailer for a while. She used to be on 15th, a little bit north of Ybor City.
Yeah. Her
but
Cuban
Michelle
sandwiches,
has always made great devil crab.
Yes.
And she doesn't call it deviled.
Yeah. And they're big and they're packed.
Oh, yeah.
And when you put that hot sauce on it and bite into it.
You might pay a couple extra bucks, but when you get claw meat.
It's so good. It's so good.
You start to hear angels. I'm thrilled that you were able to come and join me.
Thank you.
It's lovely to talk to you. I look forward to spending more time.
Over already?
I know. It was quick, wasn't it?
Wait.
You want to talk some more?
Did we get
everything
we needed?
Okay, let's talk some more.
Did we get everything we needed?
Huh?
We need to find Michelle.
We need to find Michelle. We'll get on Google.
Her Cuban
and we'll
sandwiches
Michelle.
and her devil crab.
Yeah, her Cuban sandwich. She actually won the Cuban sandwich contest one year.
I believe
in Ybor
it.
City.
It's so good.
And she's just a good person. I'm a big believer that you can't be a bad person to make good food. It eventually comes out on the plate. And the opposite is true, which is good people, you can just taste this like an extra hidden flavor in there. You can't make evil collard greens.
No, you can't.
No. It shows up bitter and it just punches you in the mouth.
Right.
Anyway, thank you for being a guest.
Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to going out and having some food sometime.
Yes, let's do it.
And we'll dance.
Yes, of course.
You have to teach me to dance.
I mean, hey, I'm a dancer.
I am lacking.
I got you.
Okay, good. And thank you for watching Tampa's Table, a culinary journey. Be sure to like and subscribe anywhere you like and subscribe podcasts, and leave a comment about where your favorite place to eat is or what your favorite recipe for the greens are.
Yes.
That would be good.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you next time on our next episode. Be sure to keep a lookout, and we'll save a seat at the table for you.